Hello everyone and welcome back to our little backyard cut flower garden here. It's been a long time. It's been about 2 weeks since I last uploaded a video. Just been really busy working and things like that, but I wanted to take the time to give kind of a quick tour around what's going on right now. Mainly we have our gladiolas. Remember we planted these just a few updates ago. These weren't even out of the ground and now they're standing nice and tall next to our dahlias, as you'll see a little more here in a second. But just looking very, very good. No signs of insect damage or anything like that. I'm really excited to see those bloom. I always love that they're such a quick crop, just a quick turnaround, you know. Plant them, get the flowers, you can succession sow them and have a lot of good success with that, which is really nice too for, you know, if you want to grow cut flowers and sell cut flowers and things like that. Just a good choice that I'm really, really looking forward to having in the garden. Again, it's been so many years since I've had gladiolas. I think we have about, I don't know, 5 or 6 different varieties that I planted here in the yard. Also, the dahlias are getting pretty big. These are the first dahlias that I planted. You can see they're about 1 foot tall. This week I am going through and I am pinching all of the dahlias back just so we can get a little bit more bushier growth, so we can get more flowers when they finally do, you know, start to think about blooming and everything like that. Some of them are even starting to put a few buds up. You know how some dahlias just put a very, very, very early flower bud up. So I'm excited kind of to see those, but I'm going to end up having to snip those off when I do my pinching, unfortunately. So bummer there. But the dahlia seedlings that we planted, the dahlias that were growing from seed, they actually have gotten a lot bigger. Admittedly, I was very, very worried about them because they were just sitting there in the soil and they were very small. It didn't seem like they were growing at all, but we had a lot of rain, and I mean a lot of rain this past week, and it seems to be exactly what they needed because now they're getting nice and big. You can see we got 4 or 5 sets of true leaves on these things, and I'm just really excited to see what they produce. It's so fun. Here are our carnations. This is the La France carnations. They are doing well. They are starting to bud up, as you can see. It seems like they're kind of starting to struggle now that the temperatures are in the 90s. They're kind of starting to struggle a little bit and kind of turn yellow, and I'm not sure what's going on with them. But I think they are likely to just go ahead and bloom very soon before any kind of problems kind of take them over, I hope. Here's a quick look at the Louisianas bed. And it may look like there's some weeds in there, but I swear, you guys, I'm doing my best to keep the weeds out of this Louisianas bed. That's one of the most frustrating things about growing Louisianas is that they really do. You have to stay on top of weeding, and it's not my personal strong. It's not one of my strong suits, you know, but I'm trying my best. And this Louisianas bed is getting my top priority in the garden. Whenever I do have time to work in the garden, all of my attention is going to these. Hopefully they will bloom. Hopefully they will be absolutely gorgeous. Here we have our lava terra. It's looking pretty good, and you can see right here in this picture, you can see there are buds on this lava terra plant. This is the pink regis. I believe the seed came from Floret. Also have another one called silver cup in the garden here. This bed is kind of messy, so that's why you're not seeing the whole bed. Hopefully those will look nice when they bloom. Also in bloom, we have our Sweet William dianthus. These are a biennial flower. We planted these last summer, and they're just now coming into bloom here in the garden. This is a variety called Sweet Coral. Technically, this is one of the ones that you can plant in the spring, and they will bloom the same season, but I went ahead and overwintered mine as a biennial anyway. They are in full bloom right now, so I am going to be picking all of these flowers that you see here and then replacing this bed with something else. I'm probably going to replace this bed with zinnias, more zinnias, or maybe even some celosia. But from one packet of seed, we were able to harvest 3 beautiful buckets of this bright pink, cheerful, happy looking dianthus flower. I really love dianthus. A lot of dianthus varieties are very fragrant. Unfortunately, when I was picking this one and everything, I didn't notice any kind of fragrance from it, so that's kind of a bummer. So that, you know, might be something that was kind of lost, since it is one of the varieties that will bloom earlier, you know. So again, just kind of weighing the pros and the cons with the different types of flowers that we grow and everything like that. I also have a very large patch of these lilies growing. They're getting quite a bit taller, starting to look pretty good. There are some oriental lilies in here, as well as some Asiatic lilies. The Asiatic lilies, of course, are going to bloom a lot sooner than the oriental lilies that we planted. They're very, very close together. Hopefully by the end of the season, I will dig these up and relocate them to a different area. I was just kind of pressed for space, as always, here in the yard. So I was hoping that we get a big kind of bloom of lilies this year. Got some really pretty varieties, lots of pinks and whites and things like that. The snapdragons have also started to bloom. Not much footage on them yet. I'm sure I'll take more video as they open. The zinnias are looking good. We got the zinnias in the ground, some of the zinnias. This zinnia is the Flower Girl mix from Floret. It's just supposed to be a very, very pretty shade of kind of a pinkish white. I think it's going to look a lot like that Antiques mix that we got last year from Floret. The feverfew is also on the verge of blooming. You can see the plants are getting nice and tall, and they're starting to bud up with flowers. Just kind of playing the waiting game now. I'm really excited to see the feverfew. We have, I think, 3 or 4 different varieties this year. Some of the fancier varieties that, you know, the seed costs a little bit more to get. And we had some random just Shirley poppies pop up in random places this year too as well. And I never really noticed, but the pollinators seem to really, really love these Shirley poppies. It'd be nice to have a big field of these for pollinators. Also in that same bed we have some larkspur, and there's even a hollyhock in there, and I'm really excited to see the hollyhock because I always have a lot of trouble with hollyhocks, and this one looks like it's going to bloom without problem. So just kind of a mix and match little flower bed that I did near the house. So I'm glad to see that that was blooming as well. Last but certainly not least, we have this freesia, and I had to show you this freesia because this is the first time I've ever been successful enough with freesia to where I could cut it, and you know, the stems were nice and long to use in flower arrangements and everything, and it's so beautiful. I'm so excited. I can't wait to plant the freesia again this year and see if it, you know, grows again and have success again. And then maybe we can do a video on how to grow freesia. The scent is gorgeous. The scent is so beautiful. It was so surprising. I've never grown these, so really, really pretty, really lovely. Can't wait to kind of experiment with that some more as well. That's really about it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, it really is appreciated. You are so appreciated. And I'm not just, you know, saying that. I really mean that. Without the people who watch these videos, I would not be able to make this garden, and I genuinely mean that. So I want to say thank you so much. As always, if you have any questions, be sure to leave them down in the comments below, and I will do my absolute best to try to, you know, answer them as best I can. I can only answer based on my own experiences, of course. If you do like this video and you're not subscribed, be sure to subscribe. We would absolutely love to have you as part of our little small gardening community here on YouTube. Everybody's welcome. All you gotta do is just love plants. That's the only requirement, I guess. Even that's not a requirement, really. Thank you so much. I hope that you guys are having such an incredible day, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye, everybody.